Hey guys, so today I want to talk about something a bit more personal that I think might help some people, especially like in this generation when we're on the internet and there's so many distractions. And that I found recently that I have somewhat of an addictive personality, whether it's genetic or programmed behavioral, I don't know. But like when I start things, I can't really stop them. And can't is a really relative term because it means that I'm making the choice not to. But that aside, if you tend to be somebody who, if they, for example, wants to do a cheat day, you go crazy. Or when you watch one episode of a Netflix show, you have to watch the next one, or you keep watching it. If you scroll out on your phone, or you can't get your attention away from something, that's a form of addiction. And if you can't go without it, it's also a form of addiction. And I find that I easily slip into these tendencies. And I think that a very large portion of my energy is now going towards finding ways to combat this, but also learn to live with it. Because no matter what I keep myself from doing, I'll always find an outlet. So, entertainment is what gets me. So, I watch TV or YouTube or I'll play video games, things like that. Now, if I block video games on my computer, unplug my TV, and block YouTube, for example, I'll just find another outlet to take it out on. And so there will always be an area in my life at which I apply my addictive personality or whatever you might want to call it. And learning to use that to your advantage could be beneficial. And it goes back to the saying that you don't break habits, you replace them. So when you stop doing something, you don't just stop doing it. Typically something else fills that time of yours, and that is the new habit that it's replaced with. And so you're not going to stop playing video games, you're not going to stop eating bad food, you're going to replace it with something. You're going to start eating healthy food, you are going to start reading instead of playing games or watching TV. And all it is about replacing that habit. And the key, at least it seems, is to find a habit that like tickles the same parts of your brain. So if you go from something that is really exciting, like watching a Netflix show, we'll just keep that example going, to something super boring to you, your brain's, there's going to be a differential in the dopamine spike and your satisfaction with it, and you're going to just go back to doing the old thing. And so it needs to be something that you actually like doing. Or the opposite is to remove the option to do the other thing completely in your environment. So if I'm in the middle of the woods 5 miles out from the nearest person and I have no electronics on me, don't really have the option to watch TV. So like the two options are like replace the old habit with a new habit that still releases dopamine, or put yourself in an environment where that bad habit doesn't exist. And you can use either one to your advantage, but I find for me it's very hard to simply replace a habit because I'll just go back to the old one. And so what I notice is when I'm in an environment at which the habit does not exist, I don't do it. So typically that's when I'm around people or I'm elsewhere in a new environment. So when people are visiting, that's usually abnormal. So my parents come to visit me for the weekend, that's an abnormal occurrence. And so it throws me out of my routine. In being thrown out of my routine, it throws my habits off, including my bad habits. And then it helps me break them. So you can surround yourself with people, go see your friends more often. Or the other option is to change environment. So leave your phone behind and go on a walk so you have no other option. And do that enough times to where it becomes the new habit and you no longer have the desire. And the only double-edged sword is that once you have a neural circuit, I don't really know what the correct terminology would be, but once the habit exists, it doesn't ever go away. It's what muscle memory is. Like if you ever played a sport and you were a kid, you would know that you can probably still play it really well now, even though you're not in practice. And the reason is because it still exists up here, you just don't use it. So it's like, it's just disabled. It's dormant is a better word for it. And so it will always instantly come back awake if you use it. And so you can stop smoking cigarettes for 10 years and then go back to it one day and instantly that addictive circuit is just as strong as it was 10 years ago. And then you're re-addicted, and that's all the relapse is. And so using this knowledge to your advantage, you can kind of start to understand that what's screwing you is probably your environment and also your daily habits. You're probably, if you have the time to scroll or watch TV or whatever it may be that gets you like it gets me, one, you probably have too much free time. Pick up a hobby, go out and do things with people. Um, and secondly, you probably have a bad environment. So if you are able to optimize your environment, like I have a blocker on my phone now. So after a certain time, I just can't access anything on my phone. And I have an app on my computer that like blocks certain like apps, whether it be YouTube, like anything. And all that does is help to add friction when doing things. And it may sound pathetic to some people, obviously, but those are not the people that I'm talking to. But I will have to keep you updated on this because this is something that I'm still trying to figure out. But it seems that like when I watch one TV show, I will just keep watching it all day. Like I don't know how to stop or when to stop. And I would say that it's probably an issue, but also it seems to just be a habit because I've done it so many times in the past that when I watch one, I have always watched more than one. And so my brain, it's so habitualized that I just can't really stop it. Um, and so I'm trying to find a way around that, but I will keep you guys updated as to where I am. But the end goal is to either be able to live without doing like binging anything or just not do it at all. So avoiding going back to it, or being able to control it. And I don't know which one will be easier, but I'll keep you updated. So if anybody deals with anything like this, let me know your thoughts. But hopefully this was somewhat useful to some people. Maybe it makes you feel like you're not alone. But yeah, I will talk to you guys tomorrow.